Welcome to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kennedy.
And we're here to talk about what goes on in the village, the township. And you know those people that make laws and regulations? That affects you out there.
That's right, Elgin. Whether you live in the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, Addison Township, or Oxford Township, these are the people that you went and elected. And the commissions and the committees that make decisions that directly affect you, whether you chose to go to that meeting or not. And the result can be a taxing
Situation.
That's right.
Very much so. And as David said, if you don't attend, there's other things that happen. There's humor, and it bubbles to the top or sinks to the bottom. Right?
A laugh and a tear.
A laugh and a tear. Yes. And there's another thing that happens here. If you would like to see the short version, which is what we offer of each of these meetings, rather than sit in for how many hours?
I've been in meetings that went as long as 3. That's the exception, of course, but they do go, much longer than we're going to cover it on.
Yep. Minutes by Minute is the abbreviated version.
That's right. But if you choose to go to the full meeting or see it, you can go to our website, occtv.org, click on programs. Everything is in reverse date order, and you'll find whatever you want. There's even a drop-down menu, so you can kind of tunnel down to those specific areas that you wish. It's also on YouTube and sometimes on Facebook.
That's true. There's that and much, much more out there.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes. For years and years.
Years and years.
Okay. One of us also adds a little bit of information to the script as we go along here, and we call it embellishment.
I thought it was creative journalism.
Well, other people call it rumor making. Oh, okay. So let's talk about
bad word.
A bad word. Yes. Let's talk about the 2 meetings that came up last week. First one was Oxford Village Council meeting held on October 8th. And the other one we're going to try to get to is Addison Township Planning Commission meeting, also held on October 8th.
Wow.
Different places, right?
Right.
Okay. Oxford Village Council. Joel Frost is the president of the council. Dave Bailey serves as the vice president.
Is that the same as President Pro Tem?
Yes.
Okay.
Same thing. If something happens to Joel Frost, Mr. Bailey will jump right in there and take care of it. He's not new to the scene.
Oh, no, he's been on the council for a long period of time.
He has. Maureen Helmuth also serves that board, and she's been on the
Another legacy
council
member?
a long time. Yeah, legacy member. And she serves also on the Planning Commission. Kate Logan is one of the newer members. She's been there about a year, and then there's Allison Kemp, who serves on the council as well. Joe Medor, who's the village manager, he was there, and Terry Nika, who does the recording, she was there as well, and Bob Davis. They don't go far without Bob Davis. He's the attorney.
No, he keeps them on the straight and the narrow.
They'll make a statement, and then they turn to Bob. What do you think? That's the way it works, right?
Dot that I, cross that T.
Yeah. Bob says, nah, that's not going to work. Or that's going to work, or it may not work. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's what happens.
Let me throw in a Latin phrase.
Yeah, well, let me give you one of those, yeah. He probably knows a lot of Latin. Being
Lawyers do.
Yeah, they do. That's why you can't understand those contracts. Are they all in Latin? No, they're supposed to be in English. I think they are, right?
So we have to get, someone that knows ancient Latin.
Right. Okay, so they did the preliminaries. They did the pledge, of course, and the agenda was approved. Presentation. Any presentations tonight? No presentations. So look how we're rushing right through this one, huh?
Hoo-ee.
Hoo-wee. Public hearing was the next thing. Ordinance Amendment number 410, which is a purchase policy.
Oh.
Now, remember that there is a formula that they use, which makes it...
Is it an ordinance for purchase policy?
There is an ordinance for it. And the purchase, encourages local businesses
Correct.
to provide product for
That's
the
been a big
township
issue
and the village.
for at least 10 years.
It has. And I think probably 3 years ago it was changed to provide a formula for it where it gives the local businesses somewhat of a slight advantage over other locations within the state or within the nation.
True.
So anyway, that was not changed. It was maintained the way it was. It just came up, that it's time to renew it and check it and review it. And it was approved and went forward for the second reading. I believe the second reading is coming up. they asked for public comment on that, and there was no public comments to be made. So the public hearing was open and closed almost immediately. Now, public wanted to speak on the next item, and that's enforcement. He's the enforcement officer, Dan Durham, stood up.
Dan's been on the job for a while.
He has, and he says, "I'd like to talk about those chickens."
Oh, no.
Why do you want chickens? He said, "I've been involved," he said, "with vermin." He said, "You're talking rats, you're talking mice, you're talking raccoons, you're talking coyotes, all of the above." And
Coyotes a vermin?
yeah, it's a vermin. It'll attack your chickens and eat your chickens.
I thought when you got to a coyote size, it became a vermin.
Well, it could be a vermin, yeah. That's a Western term. You old varmint. Yeah. Right? Okay. Possum also is another one, and he said they'll attract skunks as well. Oh, goody.
Oh.
That'll enhance the neighborhood, by sure. Anyway, he said it would be a grave mistake if you went forward
And
with
they
this
all
ordinance.
said, I think it tastes like chicken.
Yeah, all right. Oh, snake tastes like chicken, I hear.
Okay.
But I didn't mention snakes here, though. You mentioned
Not
it.
yet. You're not done yet, are you?
I'm pretty well done. We're going to stop at the skunks.
Okay.
Can't get past that smell. So the skunks, that's it. But
so-
anyway,
There was an article in the paper that said there was a couple of skunks with rabies down around Southfield, wasn't there?
it's pretty common for skunks to carry rabies.
Oh.
Raccoons, another one. They have rabies. So anyway, so
Hard to
he
get that by
said
a
you're
skunk
going to.
once he throws that nasty stuff at you.
Yeah. Well, you better be running in the other direction if that ever happens. But Durham said you do not want to have this ordinance in place. He said it would be a grave mistake. He said you may think it's not, but once you institute this thing, how do you recall it? Because you give out permits, that kind of thing.
Is this the 3 chicken rule?
This would be 4 chickens, I think.
4 chickens?
Yeah, it could be
Oh,
4 chickens.
Well then,
And Maureen Helmuth,
no rooster.
right, no rooster, but Maureen Helmuth says, look, you should be able to slaughter those little critters. I don't see any problem with it. You can slaughter them in your garage, in your kitchen. I don't care where you do it as long as it's not outdoors.
Okay.
So I can see it now. Can you get the vision of chicken blood all over? Now that's pretty gruesome, but we have Halloween coming up, so I can talk this way.
Ever see that movie Cold Mountain where Renee Zellweger said, oh yeah, you want to do that chicken?
That would probably be a little more humane. I'm not
I
sure.
suppose, I don't know.
But little Chicken Little, after she's done laying eggs and can't have eggs anymore, goodbye, Chicken Little. You're going to join the Chicken Little plate on the dinner table.
Come on, Chicken Little, we're going to give you a retirement party.
And you're going to be the center of the activity. So I can see that coming, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Dan was very outspoken on this subject, and we'll talk more when we come back right after this.
Hi, you're watching OCTV, and I'm Debbie Wren, President of the Oxford Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Terry Stiles, Production Manager at OCTV.
And Terry and I, we want you to start your day off right. Every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m., we want you to watch us on Daybreak.
That's right, we'll see you there.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kinney.
And there's all kinds of things going on with the Oxford Village Council, and one of the things is chickens.
Chicken.
That's the chickens. And so there's quite a discussion again over chickens, and the complaint was, look, we've been talking chickens for the last 2-3 months, and we keep getting back to chickens.
And all of a sudden, predators came up.
Right. They want to make modifications to it, amendments to this unsubstantiated ordinance that we're trying to get going here. So what do we do next? Well, they said, let's continue with what we're doing right now, and let's set it aside for a second reading, or a third reading, I guess it is, and see what changes need to be made, but have the attorney look at it, see what suggestions he might have at the next meeting.
Well,
Okay.
in order to address the concerns of the ordinance officer, maybe it has something to do with the quality of the chicken coop.
Well, no, because it's defined in the ordinance, the size of the chicken coop. The only problem
Not the
is,
size, but the quality. That is to say,
well, you think they're going to break out?
I know something might break in.
I can see it now. Chicken coop, razor blade, barbed wire around it, minefield.
Well, no, but I mean, if the concern of the ordinance officer is that predators will get in and eat the chickens, maybe there's a more substantial design of a coop that would be necessary.
Probably design a pit bull and put them out there. That would probably take care of it, right?
That would work, I guess.
I would suggest that
Might
would
not
take
get any
care
sleep.
of it. Yeah. Right. Well, I don't think they dare go past the pit bulls, but I think that would solve, but except for a skunk. I'm not sure about the pit bull and the skunk attack. Could be a real problem, especially in this neighborhood where you're confined. I mean, the lots aren't very large, downtown here. But they have defined the area required in terms of chicken
What
space.
zones you're in?
No, it'd be in residential zone, but it's going
Would
to
it?
be within a chicken zone, certain size in which you can have a chicken. And you got to get permit, and the concerns.
You are now entering the chicken zone.
Right, the chicken zone.
Used to be the twilight zone, but now it's a
Right.
chicken zone.
I can't believe, really, in honesty, how insane it is to have chickens in a village, small town like that.
As opposed to a soup can?
Well, next it's going to be giraffes or elephants or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like that comfort animal thing
Yeah.
on airplanes. It got out of hand.
Honestly, I don't mind, the puppy dogs and the kittens. I mean, they're kind of cuddly,
Yeah.
How do you cuddle a chicken? I mean, give me a break. And then you're going to kill your pet, Chicken Little. The family's sitting around the dinner table. Guess what? Kids, we're having Chicken Little tonight.
Not Betty. Not
Right. That, apparently some people are pretty hard-hearted. Maybe they can deal with Chicken Little, but it might destroy
most-
the child's image.
Most people don't think about the chicken or the steak that's on their plate as coming from an actual animal.
We have to look at the steak. I mean, it's only a small part of they're so big. Right? Okay. Anyhow,
They
the
can
next,
handle themselves.
yeah. So anyway, they said, well, they probably have a permit for a year, and they want to limit it as kind of a experiment to see, if there's anything that needs to be done, tweaked, and so forth as this thing moves along. And
Maybe they can gain some experience and readdress the whole
Yeah.
issue.
But Bob Davis, the attorney, he said, okay, here's the issue. Once you issue the permit, and now you decide you want to null and void the ordinance, not have that ordinance anymore, how do you withdraw people that have chickens?
Is that called ex
they have-
post facto?
Yeah, do they have, I think they have a great big party, and they have a chicken feast. I'm not sure how they're going to do that, and so Bob says, once you get into this thing, he said it's got other issues involved. So is a grandfather clause where you get a chicken and the next person doesn't get a chicken? Hey, you know what? I've chickened myself to death here. Let's go on to the next item.
Get them all together and release them, and they'd be like these flocks of turkeys that are going around.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I think they would
Look, it's
be
a rogue chicken flock. Watch out for them.
Yeah, they could be a lot more savory though than those turkeys. Those turkeys, I understand, are pretty tough. But anyway, I'm going to get off the chickens. Consent agenda, correspondence, letters, reports, and the minutes from the past month were all received and filed. And let me see what we got coming up here after the next stage. Okay, approval of the minutes for September 10th. Bills in the amount of $147,007.02. And there was an error in that there was a credit against the account, in which originally it was I think $20,000 higher than this. And Helmuth, Council Member Helmuth, brought to their attention that that wasn't the correct amount. So it was adjusted as far as the report was concerned. So good move, catch.
Eagle eye.
Yeah. Monthly budget reports, budget amendments were all approved. Unfinished old business. Ordinance 410, second reading, purchasing project policy. And we said that went through ordinance. It was approved. Ordinance 412, which is the chickens, we're back to chickens. I was hoping we get past that one, but we're back again. And
But that was pretty much covered,
it
wasn't it?
was all covered. So, and next thing was childcare. Per council meetings, for the council meetings, they want to have child care service so that you folks that want to attend the meetings but couldn't otherwise because you have children at home, you can now bring your children supposedly, and
Someone would take care
someone
of them
will
in
take
another
care of
room.
them in another room. But what came up here is that if you check the state statutes concerning child care, you can't do it because there's so many restrictions to it. However, churches do it, other institutions do it, and I think it falls under a different requirement in terms of law. And so Bob Davis said he was going to research it
Yeah,
further.
it's not like you're caring for them for like 8 or 9 hours. It's just for the length of a meeting.
Right, and in this case, they're not paying for the service. The parent is going to be in the meeting, so the parent is right there on site.
Would the parent be required to sign a waiver?
I believe they will be, but that's all part of the, the legal process that they're going to have to take with this. So anyway, that was tossed back to the attorney to bring some suggestions in terms of regulations for this and how it's to be handled. And Kate Logan said that she was going to do a survey. She was agreed to do it, that she would send out a survey to parents to see who was really interested in this service, to get factual information. Now, the TV
But
station has done the
this
same
whole
thing.
thing was based on feedback that they received?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, it's apparently Kate Logan was one that implemented this thing and brought it to the surface
Oh.
at this previous council meeting. But these issues have now popped up that she's concerned that she wants to make sure that she's got enough support for. So, which is a good move, and she's going to bring it to the next meeting that they have. New business, NODA contract for 2020, and that was pretty much whizzed through. As you know, it was
That's a real
approved.
worthwhile organization.
Right, as an interlocal agreement between counties, townships, that kind of thing. So it was approved immediately. Resolution 1914-14 MDOT permit system, annual review of the process. That's all it was. And so that was quick. It's just a matter of procedure.
And just as a reference, when's that starting again?
When is that? Oh, that's March 15th is when it's supposed to begin. It may start sooner. I don't
heard a
know.
rumor that might be February.
Well, we'd like it to be February because the sooner they get in, sooner out is what we hope.
That's what they say.
But you never know what you're going to run into, though, in these cases.
Oxford's an old town. You never
is.
know what
Yep.
lies beneath the top of the
Yeah,
soil.
Halloween is coming, so who knows. Anyway, we'll talk more about this and other things when we come back right after this. Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave
And we
Kenny.
are talking about the village council meeting that was held the other evening. And a couple more items was Resolution 19-5, which is Oakland County IT Services. A great service provided by Oakland County, and is immediately approved. So that went through. Special event application for the Chamber of Commerce for the Christmas parade. For you
Wow.
folks, yeah, it's coming up, believe it or not, sooner than we think.
When is it?
It's going to be December 7th, 2019, of course, this year, at 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Police and fire departments have been approached, and there's no problem, they say, in terms of the parade. There is one issue that there's going to be some road construction, so it may congregate at a different location than what we're used to, as far as you parade people. So
And hopefully it's a pleasant day.
it's going to be cold. I'm pretty sure it will be. Although you never know.
Frozen my tootsies off there waiting for that parade to start.
I have seen though before Christmas, 70-degree temperature.
You have,
Years
but
past.
you were in Florida.
No, I wasn't. I was in Michigan, which was rather unique, to see that kind of temperature. But it hasn't happened since, and that must have been about 20 years or so ago.
you see.
But let's talk about Addison.
Probably when you said, I wish it would be like this forever, and you jinxed it.
Yeah, if I wouldn't have, you would have. Okay,
well.
Addison Township Planning Commission meeting held on October 8th. Lawrence Smith is the chair. Jean Lowert, yeah, that's it. Vice chair and secretary Beans, Linda Garrick, Jean Malaya, Chuck Sargent, and Joe Schnur. You know Joe, right? Bob Davis was the attorney present at this particular meeting.
Bob
He
gets
serves-
around.
Yeah, he does. He serves several communities. Pauline Bennett, the clerk, was doing the recording for that evening as secretary.
Actually, having Bob at these meetings adds some continuity to the whole process.
Yeah, and it also, if you're in a council meeting or whatever, they say, let me see, well, what impact will this have legally on us? Bob says, it'll do this, that, and whatever. If you do that, it'll do this, that, and whatever.
Oh,
So he's a deciding, we might say, unsilent voter, okay, in this whole process.
kind of like the executive officer on a boat.
Yeah, right. Aye, aye, sir. Okay, why? Because sir is the aye, aye person. Okay, pledge. Did the pledge, of course, preliminaries, the minutes for July 9th and also September 10th were approved. Public hearing, Brewer Road, B-R-E-W-E-R, Brewer Road, Suburban Estates. Now, that's the interesting thing because Suburban Estates implies like a subdivision is a suburban estate as it's defined there.
Or a
rather
trailer
than
park.
agricultural.
Or a trailer park.
Or, well, no, it wouldn't be a trailer park.
I've heard of estates being
Yeah, they could be.
trailer
but,
parks.
Yeah, they're under special permits, that kind of thing, trailer parks. Okay, setback question. Is it to be changed, the ordinance from 50-foot setback to 30-foot setback? Well, is there any public that would like to speak? Almost all the audience jumped up. Okay.
Whoa.
Whoa. One of the people that spoke was Matthew Johnson, and he says he wants to keep it at 50 feet. It was good before, it needs to be good again.
Why did they want to reduce it?
Because they're smaller lots, and they want to have
An extra lot?
residential ability to build homes in that area in a smaller acreage. And so, being smaller acreage, if they're required 50 feet, which they got 10 acres, it's no problem. But if you've got a 150-foot lot, it could be a problem. And where are you going to put the house? Sideways.
That's a
10-foot
big
wide.
easement.
10-foot wide house. So that's the issue that is involved here.
Okay.
Okay. Patrick Ryan was another one that he spoke, and he said that he also felt that should be kept at 50 feet. He said he enjoys the property he has as far as the view and so forth. He said if you went to less than that, he said it would shorten the view from his neighbor. He said he doesn't want any interruption to his line of sight to enjoy the beautiful area out there in Addison Township. And they do have beautiful areas.
Yes, they do.
Nice rolling hills.
Especially now with the color change.
Yes, it's gorgeous. Have you been through there lately?
No, but I have in prior years, and it's
Okay.
really, really nice.
Now, you and I went out there last weekend, but it hadn't changed yet.
No.
Not a whole lot. But
Met some
it's
nice
beautiful
people,
area. Yep. Yes, nice people out there. And Leonard, great little community, as is Lakeville. Okay, Candace Johnson was another one that spoke up, and she said that she doesn't want to see that setback changed. Rose Ann Johnson, could they be relation? Yes. I presented several letters to the board asking for 50 feet remain as it is. So it's quite an issue over there in Addison Township. Mike McDonald, you may remember him as president of Leonard.
Yeah.
He used to be the supervisor of Addison Township. Did you
Mike
know
was?
that? Mike was, yep.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay.
A lot of people didn't know that. But anyway, so he's very knowledgeable about what goes on in Addison Township. And he's real familiar with this situation because he helped form that ordinance of 50 feet. But he said he was a little short-sighted, and he would be the first to admit it, that you needed to have another regulation in there that would allow smaller properties to enjoy the Addison countryside and scenery.
But setbacks are usually a consideration for, what would you call it, infrastructure for easements.
Right.
So as long as it doesn't interfere with that.
Well, there is a protection too. You know, even if there is an ordinance such as this, you can go to the Zoning Board of Appeals. You know, and maybe get a change to it. Zoning Board of Appeals is the judicial portion of any township, any organization. So their word is usually the last word. So that's another recourse that individuals can take.
All no's are canceled
Mike-
by a yes.
Yes, and Mike McDonald is very knowledgeable about this kind of thing and procedures. He brought that up as well, but, okay. And if he didn't, it'd be a rumor, because he knows this stuff really well. Okay, zoning ordinance, Article 13, Section 1303, docking issues. There's an interesting one. Did you know that the ordinance for docking is 35 feet, a dock can be 35 feet, and 6 feet wide? And do you know who concurs with that on the lake? Virtually nobody.
Oh,
They put their docks in willy-nilly. So Wayne Hodges,
so they don't have to go to the planning commission to build a dock?
oh yes they do.
And the planning commission approved these
No,
docks?
they did not.
Oh,
They did this after dark. When the fish are biting. Okay.
maybe they're telescoping docks.
You know Wayne Hodges, he used to be on the Communications
do.
Commission? Okay, well, he's also with the Lake Villa Property Owners Association, and he's one of the leaders of this particular organization. Another one is Mike Partlett, P-A-R-T-L-E-T, Partlett. And both those gentlemen were there, and Wayne says, look, you have ordinances in place, but you don't require them to be followed. You don't issue citations when people, you just slap them on the hand and say, oh, nice dock. Anyway, so he said that needs to be implemented. Also, people are spending more and more time on their docks, so the ordinance for 35 feet long no longer exists. You should have L-shaped capability and also T-shaped docking and multiple docking capability depending on the size of the lot. So anyway, that was discussed thoroughly.
When does a dock become a wharf?
Right, and yeah, right. And you folks can gain more about this if you go to OCCTV.org and click on it, and you'll find out what that meeting really entailed. It was a little long-running meeting, a lot of content though. Speaking of content, what's coming up?
We do have some meetings. On 10/21 at 6 p.m., the Addison Township Board of Trustees will be meeting. And at that same time, at 6 p.m., the Village of Oxford Downtown Development Authority. And on 10/24 at 7 p.m., the Oxford Township Planning Commission, followed at 7 o'clock, well, not even followed, at the same time, Village of Oxford, or Village of Leonard, that is, Planning Commission.
Good.
And
good,
that's it.
Good stuff coming up. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
Catch you next time right here on Minutes by Minute.
See you then.
Welcome to Oxford Community Television. We are proud that our 4 communities continue to choose local programming, local news, sports, community issues, familiar faces, celebrations, and commitment to each other.
There's a lot of history to Oxford. Hidden around every corner, deep in every crack, and sometimes right in front of you, waiting to be discovered. If you just dig a little, you'll find the great history of our beautiful town. Welcome to historic Oxford.
We here at OCTV cover the local events and government meetings of Oxford, Addison, and Leonard. We also produce and edit programs for you viewers out there. With the leadership of our station manager, Bill Service, we have been a very successful team, winning awards from the state of Michigan for Best Electronic Media, giving attention to our local veterans. We also won awards for excellence in directing and educational programs. With the help of our great new equipment and our technical directors, we write, produce, and broadcast our local news for you. Without our production manager, Terry Stiles, our channel and station wouldn't be the well-oiled machine it is today. She coordinates the editing assignments and shoot schedule with our editors and camera people. OCTV and its communities make a great team.